So in our last video, you saw me build the plywood boat. And you're thinking, how is this guy gonna build a boat that doesn't leak without using fiberglass and the resins that give you a massive headache, right? I've been thinking about this method for a long time. I'm gonna try it out, see what happens. Let me show you how. This is plywood boat number 1. This first attempt here was with caulk along these seams. You can see it along here. And then 2 coats of latex paint. And the latex paint in it held up pretty good. It only leaked a little bit. But then I found this method that I've been thinking about for way too long. And let me just show you, okay? Most wood boats, you would use this fiberglass material here, and then 2-part epoxy, which really smells, right? So our substitute, which is a lot safer, is drywall mesh tape. You're all familiar with this. My phone's ringing, sorry. And waterproof wood glue. I'm excited about this. I learned about this from a gentleman named Ken Simpson. He has a great website of boat plans. He wrote a 6-page article about this. I'll link to it in the show notes. Phase 1, we have to smooth all these edges. You've probably noticed that not all of this boat is it's not all square and lined up perfectly. And I kind of did that on purpose. If you're gonna cut the plywood, I should say this in the first video, is use a straight edge. Mosquitoes, sorry. But I just wanted to show you that, this kind of thing is a little rough, but we're just gonna smooth this over, kind of like we smooth over life. And I'm excited. All right, Eric, why are we doing this? I really don't like using fiberglass. These are simple boats. They're not gonna last 10 years. And I found this method and I thought, wow, it sounds exciting. But right now, this whole boat is built with little 3/4 by 3/4 inch wood, right? The next boat we build, okay, this is on top of this, like they make these other wooden boats. And then this mesh is gonna lay in on the inside and the outside of that joint, and we're gonna lay in the glue. And I'm trying to figure out, can we build simple boats without having to sweat the fiberglass? Because man, it smells and it's kind of pricey, and this is why I'm doing it. Okay. Do you see this? Well, basically the bottom of the boat, the piece of plywood is not flush with the side of the boat. I'm not the greatest plywood saw cutter guy. I want one of those track things where you put your circular saw on, and it looks so, the other YouTubers are like, Bert, and they just cut a piece of wood. And this is raised up, and this is where I'm gonna give you permission to buy a tool, okay? This is called an oscillating tool, I believe, oscillating saw tool. It's got these blades. You're gonna burn out the blades. They burn out really quick, so buy them in bulk. Of course, link is in the video description. I will just show you what it does, and then you will want one. These things scream, so eye and ear protection, okay? You don't want to dilute this, you want to use it full strength. I'm doing this one-handed, so bear with me. Sticky side, dry side. I've been reading about this for a couple years and thinking, wow, this sounds easy. And This is the first time I've done this. This is like the beta test boat. Beta test boat. BTB, the beta test boat. Yeah, I think this needs to be rounded more. It's kind of hard to make this tape do a right angle. I've tried a couple different ways. I'm just gonna let what I have done dry, and then we're gonna come back to this tomorrow. It's time, the Labradors are hungry anyway, so I gotta go feed them. All right, tea time. All right, it's the next day here. So I was looking at the work and I'm thinking maybe the tape I'm using, I mean, this is a couple years old. This is not super tacky and it wasn't forming around the edges really nicely. So I went to the home improvement store this morning, actually, and I found this. This is a extra heavy duty fiberglass mesh tape. I will link to this below. I'm gonna do a whole post on my website. I'll link to the website and you can read and learn and that kind of thing, for lack of a better word. And I'm gonna try this. I also got some glue in a can, spray glue, spray adhesive, thinking if this isn't tacky enough or if even the new stuff isn't tacky enough, I could spray this onto the mesh, not over the boat, but you know, on cardboard or something. Don't spray the joint you're gonna work on, but just spray this side to make it even more tacky, more gluey. I don't know. I go to the store and I buy everything I think I might need because it's cheaper than going to the store 2 or 3 times, right? I also bought new glue because this, again, has been sitting around for a while. Some of the stuff is settled on the bottom. I've been shaking it up and that, but and I'm thinking maybe the glue isn't quite up to performance. I bought more of those flat pencils. I don't really like the color of these. I like orange ones if you ever want to send me some. But yeah. This held on better than I thought it would. It goes over the edge pretty nicely as well. There's a couple places where it's popped up a little bit, but I mean, for a beta test boat, yeah, but I'm excited. This is pretty cool. So Ken Simpson has a whole PDF, again, on my blog page, I have all the links for this. And I don't know if can you see that? They're folded over very nicely, but a key thing, because I reread this again last night going, why isn't this as simple as I thought it was? Is life ever as simple as Eric wants it to be? But the edges of the boat need to be rounder than we have them, a 1/4 inch round. So if a 1/4 inch round, I think that kind of means a 1/4 inch radius. I know what that means in my head. I don't know if I could put it in words, but a more rounded rather than a sharp at 90 edge. And this will bend better. The other thing which I was doing, which was bad, is bending this at a 90. You're not supposed to do that according to Mr. Simpson. So yeah, here we go. Can you see the difference? That's rounded. That's more of a right angle. So this is what we need. The other thing Mr. Simpson said is that this has to be clean. Love the microfiber towel. The hardest part of this is finding the end of the roll. How do you do that? Let's try the heavy duty tape out. Overlap your old work a little bit. That's really stiff. I don't know if this is will it stay bent or not? Maybe the adhesive will work because it's brand new. It's a brand new roll. Mr. Simpson's PDF again, he took this and ran a bead of it. I don't know if this will work here or not, but. And then the chip brush. Oh, see, this came up a little bit. Ken Simpson does say in his PDF that sometimes the tape pops up and he has not found a solution for that. You just, once the glue starts to cure, you go back over it. And I actually found that last night. What if I just put some more glue on there? That solves everything, right? I'm gonna put the side one right at the top here. So on this first coat, I'm not trying to fill all the little checkered squares of the mesh on the first go round. I'm just giving it enough to tack in so it'll dry, and then we're gonna give this a second coat. So yeah, this will be fun. This keeps popping up, so I'm just gonna remove a bunch of the glue, and we just want it to be tacky and just sit down. So I found that you gotta let the tight bond glue get really tacky, and then it starts to stick, and then I'm like, what about, oh, cameras. Sorry about that. Back down here. If I set the tripod, maybe that'll keep that from doing it. Anyway, shake this up, spray it, wait a minute or 2 minutes, and then we're gonna lay it down on this corner and see what happens. So it said 1 to 3 minutes, so let's pick 2 minutes, right? How would do that? Set the timer for 2 minutes. So here's our mesh with the extra adhesive put on it. That's not holding any better. Maybe it will if I just keep working at it. It might be the adhesive is drying now, the spray adhesive. That would be a good thing. So I'm pressing pretty strong with the thumb. I'm putting much less glue on here. I'm gonna try this corner with the regular tape again. This is the freshest roll. I should have just bought a roll of this when I was at the store, but I was so excited about the super duper strength tape that I didn't, and now I'm like, okay. And what did I say about making trips to the store? Okay, now let's apply some glue and see if it pops off. So I'm just applying it on the edge. I think I found what really important is that your two surfaces have to be right next to each other. There's kind of a gap here, and I smoothed it over with the sander, but it seems to work better up here where the two pieces of wood are like smack right. Well, let me just show you. See, this board overlaps that board very nicely, and that holds. But then like up here, it's not great. So when it gets tacky though, it starts to sit better, but I don't know. Is there a better way to get this stuff to stick? This was first coat yesterday, second coat today. And this is the extra strength mesh, and it has sat down nicely after some persuasion. Just coming over this. I think the key is just a small tack, like a tack weld, wait like 4 hours according to Mr. Simpson, and then come back and hit it. I'm trying to be like the purist. I'm like, oh, the mesh is just gonna lay down and this is gonna be beautiful. And it's not. So I'm like, okay, what if we put in a couple staples? I can pull the staples back out again, and then I can stop thinking about it. I can move on to the next thing, like right here. Someone's gonna yell in the comments, shouldn't use staples. And I'm like, okay, on your boat, you don't have to. We're gonna use these. This is all laid down really well. I had to come back and hit it a bunch of times, but this one part, hey, look what happened. The maples are dropping. fall is here. All right, it's the weekend again, so I can work on the boat. So let me show you what's going on up here. This is looking pretty good. These are laid down nicely. This is the double strength tape. There's only one kind of oops place right there. But we have to give this another coat anyway, and I'm trying to think of ways to make that lay down. The staples work pretty good. I could just staple it down a little more. But it's fall, it's cold out at night now, so this glue, if we do this again, well, we are going to do it again, it's not going to dry right. So it's time to move into the Garden Fork basement headquarters. What do you got there, Andy? Didn't work. Oh, the sawhorses aren't wide enough. Oh, I gotta go get the piece of plywood. Anyway, let's talk about phase 6 of our boat construction. Take those out. Hey, it's dry. It's a learning experience. We should talk about all these different experiments we did here. But right now, we need to apply the Titebond waterproofing mix onto the whole boat here. And that is 2 parts Titebond to 1 part water. And you can literally just use one of these to do it. And then you can either put it on with a brush or roller. I have a 4-inch roller and a 6-inch roller thing. I know that. We use what we got, and this is what I got. So let's see how this goes. So we're waterproofing the plywood here, which I'm kind of excited to see how this works. I found some cool videos about using other kind of materials to put together a plywood boat that doesn't use fiberglass, and I'm pretty excited about that. We're gonna finish this boat and then we'll make some videos trying the other ones. So if you, oh, that's watery. All right, let's see what happens here. If you wanted to, you could paint this boat with latex paint. Again, this is all use at your own risk information. Don't do anything stupid, okay? The first boat was just latex paint on top of plywood. I didn't do this Titebond coating because I frankly didn't know about it. Maybe it wasn't even in existence then. The putting it in a tray puts a much better coat on. I like that much better. So yeah, I want to put this one in the water and show you that you can build a boat. So I'm going to try and soak this joint in because there's a big gap here, which I'm not happy about. Yeah, see, I'm trying to push it into there and it doesn't go in. If you're not making mistakes, you're not learning. That's my big thing. That's why this is the imperfect how-to show, because stuff happens. And I really think you can build this. So maybe I'll stop talking and just paint the glue. Roll the glue, yeah. Very lightweight boat, but what would Garden Fork be without?
Hello. Oh, you brought your turtle. Maybe don't bring the turtle to the pond.